1 in 400 trillion. That is the chances of you being alive watching this video with me. Why do I say this? I say this because this all ties down to the relapse you just had, or maybe recently. We as human beings are imperfect. Just the fact that you're alive right here, there are so many imperfections about that, right? The chances are 1 in 400 trillion. Look at nature, for example. Everything about nature is imperfect. You look at trees. Have you ever seen like a perfect tree? No tree is similar. Every tree is different. Everything in nature is just imperfect. The same thing is true about humans and our human experience. These feelings of guilt, of shame, of yes, relapsing, of losing your streak that you had, they're all normal. It's all part of the human experience. Maybe now in the modern world we have like more problems like porn, etc. So these problems are even worse. But these same feelings that you have of guilt, of shame, of wanting to stop this addiction, it's very normal. So personally, I think that's comforting. I think it's comforting to understand this first point about relapses, that yes, it's normal, but that you know already, not only is it normal, it's part of the experience, right? Of the emotions that you need to have as a human being, right? If everything was perfect and life was perfect and you had no guilt, no shame, no negativity, none of that, then life wouldn't be fun. So you just relapse, what do? I want you to really get into the habit. And this is a lifelong habit. It's this habit of self-reflection. I think in most of our modern world, we're so distracted that we don't even have time to self-reflect and think. Not only think about our goals and our passions, but also, okay, what went wrong? How can we fix this scenario? So in the example of relapsing, right? We don't have time to think about that, or at least you probably don't, because you fill your time maybe with instant gratification activities, or maybe you're so busy at work and you're so busy with other tasks, they don't leave time in your day to think, to brainstorm, to see, okay, what went wrong? How do I fix that? So first of all, I want you to be compassionate, be loving to yourself. You know, it's not a big deal. It happens. It's part of the human experience. But next, after the relapse, I really want you to, or think, like go on a walk, do something for yourself to brainstorm and see, okay, what went wrong? How could I prevent this? How can I rewire my brain so like next time when I'm in this scenario, in that, bathroom doing this, how do I make sure that it doesn't happen, right? And I really think if you allow time to think, if you give yourself that time, maybe go on a walk, maybe journal about it. But I think just giving you that time to think solely about this thing, right, that you want to fix, you want to stop relapsing, just doing that is powerful. So when you're reviewing yourself, when you're reviewing, okay, what went wrong? Don't scold yourself. Don't be harsh on yourself. It happens. You think I didn't relapse in the past? You think it doesn't happen to most people? It obviously does. And so stop being so harsh on yourself and just, look at it from an angle where you're just watching, where you're just observing, okay, what went wrong, with no emotion, no guilt, no negativity. I know it's hard, I know it's easier said than done, but just see it like in third person. Okay, what happened? It just happened. Like there's nothing I can do now. How do I prevent this? Go on a walk, think about it. Leave your phone, just throw it out the window. You don't need your phone on your walks. You don't need to have your notifications on when you're journaling, or just look at a wall, right? Hamza said this, just stare at a wall and think and brainstorm and just leave time for yourself. I think this is super powerful, especially in today's world where everything is moving so fast. And yes, we all need time to think. So that is the habit I want you to kind of consider and do it now, right? If you just relapse and if you're struggling, etc. Another thing I want to do right now with you is I want to reframe it. So I like to reframe things. I do this many times on my channel. Maybe we should even rename the channel to Or Reframes Every Single Thing Ever. So that is what I'm about to do right now with you. So see it like this. Let's say you want to start eating healthy and you've been eating healthy for the past month. You've been on this diet, you've been really good, eating good nutritious foods. And suddenly one day you eat that pizza and you weren't really conscious. You weren't really present. It just happened, you ate it. You ate the pizza. In that scenario, is it really, let's think about that. Is it really that bad? Did you lose all your progress? Think about that. Did you lose all your progress? No, you ate healthy food for 30 days. And for one day, you just indulged and you ate bad food. So I know it's different with NoFap. I understand that it's not the same exact analogy, but still think about that. Did you really lose everything? When you're on this journey, you know that you're going to fail, and that's fine. We're not perfect. And so just seeing that analogy with the food, I hope that helps you to understand, yes, it happened. You relapsed. You didn't lose all the progress. You still had maybe a week or two of progress, and stop being so harsh on yourself. think about how good you've been so far and how much you've overcome, how many temptations you've overcome, and it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Now, when you do relapse, I really want you not to go all in, right? Because a lot of people, what they do is they're like, oh shit, I already did it. Let me eat a lot now. Or that analogy, right, of eating. Let me eat, let me consume, let me eat all the pizza in the world. So with relapsing, don't do it like 20 times. Because then that is worse. That's like self-harming, and that is not what you want to do. So it's unrealistic to think that, okay, when you're on this journey, you're never gonna fap again, or you've started, right? It's been a week, you're counting the days, and you're like, yeah, it's fine, it's never gonna happen. That's unrealistic. You are prone to fail. And I'm thinking, for example, about my story, and when I started to go on this journey, I would obviously fail after a week, after 2 weeks, and slowly that gap between me failing got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now it's been 2 to 3 years when I haven't fapped and watched those contents. And what's crazy, I remember the last time I watched it, I did not even feel anything. I don't know how to explain it, but when you really take this seriously and you do what I told you, right? You journal, you think, okay, I want to improve myself, I want to take time to think and be introspective with myself. When you really do that, and you do that like not just once, you do that every time, and you take this seriously, and you leave the distractions at bay, you throw them out the window. When you really do that and you take that seriously, you even forget it exists. You even forget this type of content exists. And when you do even fap, and when you do even relapse, because I can think of my last relapse a few years ago, I didn't even feel anything. Like, I saw the content, I felt so indifferent to it. Maybe that is what I want you to feel over time. And I'm telling you, this is the long-term kind of feeling that you'll feel. You feel indifferent to it. You're just watching and you're like, this is fake. This is pixels on a screen. Why am I doing this? And this takes time, but I do think that each and every one of you can get there over time. So yes, your goal is to not even think about it, to not count the days, right? Because when you count the days, you don't forget that it exists. You think about it every single day. Your goal is to forget that this whole movement exists. Yes, I'm making videos about this, but just stop consuming this type of content all the time and know that it's okay not to think about this every single day. And that is your goal. Your goal is to be so busy that you even forget this exists. Go so deep on your purpose and at least be in the pursuit of it, right? That's what I say. Be in the pursuit of finding your purpose. That you're distracted and you're almost blinded by this whole thing and you forget it exists. That is your goal. So brother, the last kind of thing I want to leave you on, and this ties to my first point, life and the human experience is not fun without the struggle. And I know it's tough. I know the struggle that you're in. I've been there before. It's tough. But you have to understand that although you don't think that right now, it doesn't seem like this. There is fun in the struggle. Life wouldn't be fun if everything was easy and you've achieved your goal. Imagine I just snapped my fingers and overnight you were able to come all temptations. Your whole NoFap streak is now 100 years. You haven't fapped in a while. Everything is easy. Everything just comes to you. I know you want that, right? You want that. But deep inside, I don't think you want it because you want, or at least maybe you're not conscious of it, you need to struggle. And I know it sounds harsh, but there is some positive kind of feeling that you get when you struggle and you overcome it. You hear these quotes many times and people say the fun is in the struggle or in the progress. It's not all about the end goal. And I truly believe that. I really think that the fun is in the progress. And when you really take that in and understand, okay, yeah, I mean, there's no rush. Just like Moore said, it's going to get better. The times in between my relapses are going to get bigger. Maybe it's not going to be overnight. It's going to take time. And I'm going to enjoy the struggle. I'm going to try my best to be introspective. I'm going to be present with my urges, with my thoughts. I know it's not going to kill me. And yeah, I'm just going to take it day by day. That is really powerful. And I'm telling you, no one says it like this. It is really powerful stuff. Take this in, maybe even watch this twice. I hope this helped you, brother. If you're struggling right now, I have a free ebook. If you haven't gotten it already, it's a free ebook on overcoming your NoFap urges. Most of your urges lead you to fapping and relapsing. So I kind of handle it and tackle it at the core. So I hope that helps, bro. I'll see you next time. Peace.